man, the tennis preacher, the prophet, the psychic, coming back at you again with another video. I know I said I wasn't going to do any more topics, but I couldn't resist this. I'm just want to mess with her. What's her name? I don't know if it's well, it may be a male, not a female, but it's Vivienne Lim. Okay, Vivienne. Vivi, I'm gonna call the commenter Vivi. Shout out to Vivi. Vivi said, I guess Vivi listened to the video I just did where I gave the 7 categories, and I said that these are the 7 things that could happen, and one of the 7 categories are going to win the U.S. Open. One of the 7 categories will win the U.S. Open, and Vivi said that, Magic Man, why don't you have Nadal? Why you got Nadal number 2 and not number 1? And why you don't have confidence in Nadal? Now, first of all, I don't know if Vivi was talking about that video. The video with the 7 categories, Nadal is number 1. But I think what Vivi is talking about is that I said that as far as the Djokovic versus Nadal, forget who has a better chance as far as the overall tournament. I know with the 7 categories, I said because Nadal was on the weaker side of the draw and doesn't have Federer on his side of the Djokovic, well then Nadal has a better chance of winning the U.S. Open. So I don't think Vivi is talking about that, because if Vivi is talking about that, then I got Nadal number 1 for that. But I think Vivi is talking about that I said that, and I said that I got Djokovic favored over Nadal and Federer. So Vivi is saying, why? Why? Don't you see? Do you think Nadal will let Djokovic beat him twice? Well, obviously I do. Yeah. A super level to Djokovic, I think Nadal may let him beat him twice if it's a super level. If the Djokovic plays down a little, then Nadal may beat him. Now, I want to answer Vivi's question. Vivi asked a very legit question. Shout out to Vivi again. Vivi says, why, Magic Man, are you favoring the Djokovic over Nadal? People, listen, I just went back. I had to get the stats on this though to make sure. I mean, people, it had to do with that Wimbledon semifinal match. Now, I know somebody said, well, Magic Man, that's just one match. Even if the Djokovic has beaten Nadal in the past, that's just one match. But people, y'all got to understand something about that match. That was a big match that told me a lot. And it pretty well reflected the Djokovic-Nadal rivalry. People, listen here. That match was 5 hours and 15 minutes. It was one of the, it could have been the longest match for players over 30. Now, I know Isner and their match was even longer, but it was one of the longest matches, though. I mean, not the longest, but that was a very long match. And you say, okay, so what? What does that got to do with you favoring the Djokovic over Nadal? People, got a lot to do with it. People, listen. First set, second set, third set, fourth set, fifth set. Nadal had so many chances to beat the Djokovic. Nadal had 5 hours and 15 minutes to beat the Djokovic, and this was a high-level Nadal, and he couldn't do it. Nadal also, not only did Nadal have 5 hours, people, Nadal has something that a lot of players didn't have or don't have. Nadal had 2 days, because remember the match was suspended because it got dark, right? It got suspended, right? Okay, so they came back the next day. All right, whoa. Remember, they came, this match happened over a 2-day period. I'm trying to remember this now. And so the next day, I forgot why the match was suspended. I guess because it got dark, I guess. But the next day, people, I guess it was because, I don't know, because of the rain the match was suspended. See, I'm getting all confused now. So Nadal had 2 days to beat the Djokovic. So the next day, Nadal, guess what Nadal did, people? He raised his level, because the day before, Nadal was like hitting that old loopy top spin, and the Djokovic could hit through that. So Nadal raised his level, and Nadal started crushing down through the high bounce. And guess what, people? Nadal did win that fourth set, but guess what? The Djokovic raised his level, and Nadal raised his level. The Djokovic raised his level, Vivi. Stick with me, Vivi. Nadal had 5 hours to beat the Djokovic. 5 hours and 15 minutes. And he couldn't do it. And when he tried to beat him, the Djokovic kept him down or raised his level above Nadal's. Okay? And people, let me say something. People, you know what? I would say Federer, now I already told you, I'm taking the Djokovic over Federer too, but people, Federer has a little bit of an excuse that Nadal doesn't have. People, Federer played bad against the Djokovic. Everybody knows this. In the Cincinnati Masters, and it happened fast. So Federer can say, I didn't have 5 hours. Federer can say, and plus, I was not on my game. Nadal was on his game, people, and he still couldn't beat the Djokovic. Vivi, could you talk to me? Vivi Kim, talk to the Magic Man. I want to ask Vivi that question. Why couldn't Nadal, if he can beat the Djokovic, why couldn't he beat him in a 5-hour period? And why, when Nadal came back and raised his level and won the fourth set, why, when the Djokovic raised his level, why couldn't Nadal raise his level above the Djokovic's level? Now, the Djokovic fans know why. The Magic Man, the tennis prophet, know why. But the Nadal fans, they acting like they don't know why. Vivi say Vivi doesn't understand why. But the tennis prophet knows why. And that's why I'm taking the Djokovic. I'm not saying Nadal couldn't beat the Djokovic, but 5 hours. And people, here was another stat. Check this out, people. This is in the Djokovic's favor next time. People, I didn't know this. The Djokovic had 18 break points. He only converted 3. And he still beat Nadal. Nadal had 11 break points. Nadal converted 4. People, usually the person who wins the break point percentage statistics, they win the match. Even with winning the most break points, having the higher break point percentage, Nadal couldn't beat the Djokovic. And the winners was almost the same. So Nadal at his best couldn't beat the Djokovic at his best. I saw it. But see, here's the deal, people. I've already seen this many times back during the rivalry. See, I know I'm basing this on that one match, but it's also based on the history that one match is just a repetition, a repeat of history. Okay? And like I told y'all before, Nadal doesn't have an excuse. See, it would have been better. See, if Nadal would have played bad the way Federer played bad, then maybe the Nadal fans could say, Magic Man, you know Nadal wasn't on his game. You know Nadal was playing bad. You know you seen Nadal play worse than that. Come on, Magic Man. You never seen Nadal get beat that quick, like straight sets, best of 3. This was best of 5. Nadal, listen to me. Nadal had 5 hours and 15 minutes, over 2 days, to prove to us that he can beat the Djokovic. And now he's on the Djokovic's favorite surface. Woo! Now, and you telling me, you acting, Vivi, you acting like it's crazy that the Magic Man is favoring the Djokovic over Nadal? Now, that don't mean that Nadal couldn't beat him, but I'm favoring the Djokovic over Nadal. Y'all think that's crazy? All right, people, let me see. There was something else I was going to say, but that's enough, man. Man, I'm telling you, yeah. And there's some other things about that match that Nadal threw everything at the Djokovic over 5 hours, and he couldn't do it. Oh, this is what I was going to say, people. This is very important. This is just an example. Have you ever had somebody to say, oh, I can do this? Okay, there was a person, they was trying to learn how to do magic tricks. So they was trying to, like it was a little child. It was my friend's child. He's like well, he's older now, but he was like 10 years old. But he can do magic tricks now. But he would like practice in front of the visitors that came over to the house for like a cookout or something. Say, hey, watch my magic trick. So he tried to do the magic trick. Then he couldn't do it. He almost did. He said, no, I can do it. I can do it. So then he couldn't do it. Then he said, I can do it. I can do it. Then he couldn't do it. Then he said, I can do it. I can do it. But he couldn't do it. He almost could do the magic trick, but it wouldn't come out right. And he said, I can do it. Y'all give me a chance. You know, we waited patiently, but he was a kid and we didn't care anyway. People, have you ever had somebody do that? You give them all the chances to prove. They say, I can do it. I can do it. I can do it. That's pretty well what Nadal said. I can beat the Djokovic. Y'all, wait a minute. 1 hour is gone. No problem. I get him. Another hour is gone. Another set is gone. Okay. Another hour is gone. 2 hours is gone. 3 hours is gone. 4 hours is gone. 5 hours is gone. 5 hours and 15 minutes. Nadal still couldn't beat the Djokovic. Okay, people? Do I need to say any more? Why the tennis prophet got Nadal, Djokovic favored over Nadal. And Federer too, but this is about Nadal. All right? I hope that I clarify some things for you, Vivi. That's why. Now, that don't mean, now listen, just because I got Nadal Djokovic favored over Nadal, that doesn't mean Nadal couldn't beat him. But I do think if the Djokovic bring his super level, which is slightly higher than Nadal's super level, just a little higher, and Nadal brings his super level, the Djokovic is going to win. Now, if Nadal bring his super level and the Djokovic bring like a very good level, like a medium super level, that'll still be tough, but Nadal could possibly edge that out. See, notice what I said. Even with the Djokovic medium super level versus Nadal's high super level, even then, Nadal may barely beat the Djokovic. Okay, people? Tennis preacher, tennis prophet, tennis psychic. Have a good one.